What's up, my love? My name is Paige.
And Ash.
And this is Pages with Paige, and today we're going to be doing the 20 questions book tag. This was originally created by BuyTheBook on Goodreads, and I'll leave a link to their original Goodreads topic in the description box below. Don't forget to use my influencer code Paige10 at the Bookish Bean Co. She makes wonderful bookmarks, book sleeves, bookish candles, and just all amazing things. Ash is really excited for the Luke's cheesecake scent to be back in stock, so we can buy like 5 more of those in like the big tins rather than the little one that I have.
Vanilla cheesecake.
So, we decided that we're going to do this video together, and I'm really excited that he joined. So we've got our little stacks ready to go, and yeah, the first question is, how many books is too many books in a book series?
For me, it's probably 6 or more, only because, like, once you get past that point, I feel like it's dragged on too long. In some cases, it still works. In other cases, it just doesn't. It really doesn't.
For me, I prefer trilogies, but I definitely, if it's 5 or more, I'm probably going to take a look at it and just go, really, bro. The next one is, how do you feel about cliffhangers?
You know, sometimes it's okay unless, you know, you're waiting 7+ years for a book. Looking at you, Patrick Rothfuss.
And for me, my answer is, oh my soul, but also, yes please. So like, yeah, I'm definitely, if it's done well and I know that there will be a conclusion eventually, I'm happy for them to occur. I quite enjoy it, but I also die simultaneously. Okay, the next one is hardcover or paperback?
I think we both had the same answer for this one.
Yes.
When you're reading paperback, but like for the aesthetic side of it, definitely a hardcover.
Yeah, I'd agree on that.
Yeah.
So the next question is your favourite book?
Alright, so mine is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. As I mentioned before, I hate waiting for the last book, but I absolutely adore this series. I just can't wait for it to actually be done.
I wonder when that's going to happen.
Hopefully sometime this century.
And for me, my favourite book is Matilda by Roald Dahl. I absolutely love just everything about this, and it's really been a part of my childhood and really formed me into the adult that I am. So I owe a lot to this book, and that would explain why I have like 10 copies of it. It's fine. The next question is your least favourite book.
So mine is Twilight. We don't actually have a copy of it in this house.
It's at my parents' place.
And yeah, like I suffered through it for a friend, and never again. Never again.
And mine, it was really hard to decide between two, just because I've been actively, passionately disliking this book since I read it not too long ago. But the one that I've gone with, because I can sit on it and know that my hatred for it still exists, and that is Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by John Gray. This is a misogynistic piece of shit. The way that he tries to convince heterosexual couples that men deserve to be in their caves and left alone, and women are the emotional, talkative ones that ruin relationships because they don't know when to shut the fuck up, is essentially like, I want to take a lighter to this quite happily. I haven't donated this because I don't want it to continue in circulation, but I also can't bring myself to put it in the bin, even though that's where it deserves to go. But yeah, so I'm just holding on to it, so then no one else can have this particular copy, and I know that no one else is being brainwashed by something that's fucking like not critically acclaimed, but it's fucking one of the most popular relationship help books, and I don't know what the fuck people were thinking when they thought that this could help relationships, because if anything, it looks like it would destroy it more than anything else. So, my least favourite. I get passionate about it.
Very.
It's fine. The next question is love triangles, yes or no?
Look, I'm kind of over it. as far as stories. I've read too many books where there are too many love triangles, and I'm kind of getting over it. I'd like to see something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, my love triangles, if they're a genuine poly relationship, sign me the fuck up. I am there. I am hardcore rooting behind that. You fucking go, you poly ass bitches. Like, fuck yes. Love V's, which is what you've been saying. And I think it was Zoe from You're All Booked. She conceptualized it as the love V because it's one point to the two, not interdimensional actual triangle. So if it's a triangle, hit me the fuck up. If it's a V, piss the fuck off out of my life. No thanks.
Yeah, I'd actually like to see a love triangle.
Yeah.
Obviously haven't read enough books with poly in it.
There are not many out there. I will
Yeah.
ask Kara to give you as many recommendations as I can.
Okay.
The next question is the most recent book you couldn't finish.
Okay, mine was Milkman. Unfortunately, like, it won prizes and everything, but I couldn't get through it. It's just a solid wall of text. It's just continuous. There's no breaks. It's just, and I can't, my brain just couldn't get through it. I don't know, maybe I need like a whole day dedicated to just getting through it at once. That might make it good for me, but yeah, did not finish.
So for me, I got 10 minutes into the audiobook, but then put it down because I was reading something else and just decided it wasn't the right time for me. But I noticed that it is just stream of conscious. So there is no punctuation, no paragraphing. There's nothing to break up, just anything. The audiobook, I didn't mind because it was just, you're just absorbed in the story. You're not noticing that it's just a wall of text because you don't hear that. People take pauses naturally.
Yeah.
So that, fortunately, I didn't notice that it was as painful, but reading it, I probably would have struggled hardcore.
Yeah.
But my answer, I feel so bad. I'm sorry, Aoife, I love you so much. But Bear Town by Frederick Buckman. Aoife and I, from Pretty Purple Polka Dots, we're doing a buddy read, and I just stopped. We both just got busy and life happened, so I know I will finish this eventually. I'm definitely keen to pick it up. This isn't a permanent DNF, it was more an accidental one. But yeah, this is, I think I got I got 93 pages in before. I think my audiobook went back to the library as well, so that didn't help on that front. So yeah, that was my answer. And the next question is a book that you're currently reading, and our answer is... we're doing a buddy read of Prior the Orange Tree together. So I sectioned it out into 15 parts, and I've kept up pretty well.
You've kept up pretty well.
I gotta read today's section.
Not nearly as far through it as you are. Like, I'm about as far through it as you are from the end.
Yeah. But yeah, I found that it was a really nice break to come home and just sit and read those 50 pages in between doing my master's assignment. So I had the motivation to also not do my master's. So that's probably why I kept up with it. But you're interested in it, aren't you?
Yeah, I am enjoying it. I keep getting distracted with shiny things and setting up the new place and trying to platinum video games.
And then mowing our lawn.
Yeah.
Because you're amazing.
And being a domestic goddess.
Yes, you are. But yeah, so we're buddy reading this, and we've actually made significant progress. Yeah, this is what we're reading. The next question is the last book you recommended someone. So the last book that I actually recommended someone was The Library of the Unwritten to Ash. And how did you find it?
Oh, amazing. I'm so glad you recommended it to me. I'd never heard of it before and absolutely loved it. I ended up recommending it to one of my friends and let them borrow my copy of it. And they have read through it and have given it back. So, yeah.
Did they then recommend it to someone else?
They are now recommending it onwards. So this book is now travelling. Thanks to Paige here, because it is amazing.
It is one of my favourites of this year, so
Yeah.
I wanted to push it into everyone's hands, and I have succeeded in that goal.
Yes, we have now started quite the snowball
Yeah.
of AJ Hackworth.
Yeah, and it's funny because my copy is actually with one of our other friends who's not a reader, so she hasn't picked it up yet, and I'm just like, I want my copy back, but also I want you to read it because I know you'll like it.
And it's amazing.
So having Ash's support in that is, yes, definitely helps out.
Yeah.
Cool. The next question is the oldest book you've read by publication date.
Yeah, so I've got the Iliad by Homer. Obviously, very, very, very ancient novel. And well, I don't know if you'd call it. Well, it's more of a poem than a novel.
Yeah, it's an epic poem.
Yeah, epic poem. And yeah, loved it when I read it. It was quite a number of years ago, but I was doing ancient history, so it really was what I was interested in at the time, and yeah, it was good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
For me, the oldest that I've read according to Goodreads is The Taming of the Shrew. This one's a collection of 4 comedies with The Taming of the Shrew in it. And I believe that it was 1631. Oh, is food here? Food's here.
Food is here.
Ah, so exciting.
Yes.
Not 1961. 1631 was the publication of The Taming of the Shrew, so that's definitely the oldest for me. We're pausing for a lunch break. See you in a bit. So, had a slight detour with lunch. Our potato bake didn't end up arriving, so we had to walk up and get it. Hence why I'm now in a comfortable jumper rather than a very tight, non-breathable corset. So, sorry about that costume change, but we are back.
We are back.
And the next question is the newest book you've read by publication date.
Okay, so mine would be Stranger Planet by Nathan Pyle. It's not the newest book I own, but it's the newest book I finished.
Yep.
And that's because we sat there and read it together.
Yeah. Oh, it was so much fun. And mine is Loveless by Alice Oseman. I do feel like there was a tie for like A Phoenix First Must Burn and this, but I'm pretty sure this was the one that it was said on Goodreads. So yeah, really, really, really love this. So the next question is favourite author.
So my favourite author would be Brandon Sanderson, so author of Final Empire, which is the Mistborn series, and he's done quite a few other things. He finished off The Wheel of Time and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely love him. I love everything that he's written that I've read.
Cool. My favourite author is Roald Dahl. No surprises there. I feel like there have been a few authors of late that are slowly creeping into that spot, like Marianne Curley, who's an Australian author, Felicity Banks, again Australian author, Sophie Anderson, Michelle Harrison. There's just been so many wonderful books that I've read by some amazing authors. So yeah, Roald Dahl's still that top tier just because he holds a special place in my heart, but there are others creeping up there.
Yeah.
The next question is buying books or borrowing?
I always like to own my own collection, so definitely buying. Yeah. Same.
So my answer would be buying, but I do also really love supporting libraries and wanting to be a librarian myself. I definitely encourage borrowing of books, but also if you're in the financial position to borrow it, read it, enjoy it, and then buy your own copy, that is one way that we can do that. But otherwise, being able to support those that can't afford to or don't have the resources to be able to have their own collection, definitely. Personally, I prefer buying, but still happily borrow.
Yeah.
The next question is a book that you dislike that everyone else seems to love.
Okay, so mine is actually Dracula by Bram Stoker. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions about it. A lot of people like it, and a lot of people have the same opinion as me. I struggle to get through it with the just journal entries. I know it's like unique writing style and everything, but just didn't grip me with the way a lot of it did with a lot of other people. Yeah.
Cool. Mine's no surprise. I think it's been mentioned recently, but Nevernight by Jake Krista. Yeah, cool. Obnoxious piece of twat. The next question is bookmarks or dog-eared?
So I would prefer a bookmark. I don't like dog-eating my books. I always had that thing.
For me, I'm definitely a bookmarker if I can. Otherwise, I'll just be that chaotic personality that leaves the book open on the page that I was at, just face down, rather than dog-ear it. Like, I'm happy to dog-ear it, and I have done many a time, but yeah, usually it's a bookmark or face down.
I also would prefer face down over dog-eared. Like, it's weird.
I don't care about dog-earing mine.
Yeah.
It's just not something I think to do.
Yeah, very true. You've got a lot of bookmarks.
I do have. A book you can always reread.
So always reread would be Name of the Wind. Absolutely love it, and I've reread it a couple of times, praying that the third one's going to be released, but we'll see when that happens.
And for me, again, it's my favourite book, and it's Matilda. I just reread it every year to get that sense of just joy and happiness that I find in it. The next question is, can you read while hearing music?
In most cases, yes. I prefer not to, depending on the book, really. Like, if I'm getting really into it, I don't want any distractions. But, like, small little books that I'm flying through, I don't mind listening to music while doing so.
Okay. And for me, yes, definitely. I love listening to music while I read. The only thing is, my favourite form of reading is listening to the audiobook while I read along. So, can't do that. Have tried. My brain short-circuited because that was just too many noises going at once.
Overload.
Yeah. I had an ASMR room playing on the TV. I had music softly playing through Alexa. I had my audiobook going, and then I was reading the physical book. And that was just too much.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I do love listening to music if I'm just reading a normal book. Normally I find that just any upbeat sort of thing works well. I was reading A Tale of Two Cities while listening to a Bastille song, and whenever I hear the song, I then immediately picture myself on the bus reading that particular passage over and over again. 'Cause one point of view or multiple?
Honestly, doing multiple point of views is hard. So the very few times when they get it right, it is really, really good. But yeah, I'd kind of prefer it from one point of view, just because I think that's usually the safest option, and most books that are from one point of view tend to get it right. And not, like, it's not very hit and miss with one point of view, whereas multiple point of views can be extremely hit and miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think I prefer one point of view just so I can get to know that particular character rather than trying to learn multiple personalities and multiple different aspects of the one story. And I get my timeline confused easily if it's multiple POV, because I'm like, is this following on or is this occurring at the same time as the last perspective?
Yeah.
That's my main gripe with multiple POVs, but I'm not against it and will happily pick up a book that has more than one, knowing full well that that's what it is. Just if it was one, I'd probably like it more. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days?
Normally over multiple days, but I usually pick chonkers, so...
if you read that in one sitting, your brain would die.
Yeah, or there might not be enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
I have other priorities. Such as yourself.
I don't give two shits about me. You should be reading. I'm like, no, reading, most priority. That's my concern. For me, I can read a book in one sitting. Usually a 350-page book I can sit and do in a day. I tend not to. I do tend to space it out. I usually will read a book over 2 to 3 days, depending. And sometimes it might be that I read 200 pages in that one day and then can't read for a few days, and then I'll finish off the 150 in that next time. So I haven't read for more than 24 hours, but it's been over multiple sittings, and multiple days, just needing to take that break.
Yeah.
And the last question is, who do you tag?
Well, I'll leave that up to you because I don't exactly have a page going.
So I'm going to tag Paige from thePMreader, Maddi from BookswithMaddi, and Mollie from Mind of Mollie. They're just 3 lovely ladies that I would love to see them do this and get to know their reading taste. I haven't checked to see if you've already done it, but I'll leave a link to their channels as well as whether they have done it or not in the description box below. Don't forget to use my code PAGE10 at BookishBeanCo for 10% off your orders. Let me know in the comments the book that you're currently reading, or are you reading multiple at one time? I just finished one last night, so technically I've only started one at the moment. But yeah, let us know. I'm definitely keen to hear what you're currently reading and if you're enjoying it. And yeah, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. And this mess occasionally.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully see you in our next video.
Bye.
Bye!